By and large, do you like the way this team practices?
Parts of practice, like parts of it, and then like the end of it. But I do like parts of it. I liked it all summer, and there's no question we're still not where we need to be, and some of that's going to come, but the length of intensity and the attention to detail and what you got to do time after time after time, not one or two times, not three or four times. That's going to be the seniors. You know, Malik just called out some of them. AJ's got to get off his butt, and he's got to do that on a regular basis. That's the job of seniors. So, in general, I like some of it. I don't like all of it.
Arizona's two bigs, maybe as most skilled as the chores you'll see the two post guys.
Yeah, they really will. They'll be as Ballo has just turned himself into a heck of a player. You know, he was a project, couldn't even get on the floor at Gonzaga, and then he just, you know, got better and better and better, got in better shape, and I think he's a fifth-year guy now, and sometimes that's the way it works. And he's turned himself into a good player. The Johnson kid that transferred as a fifth-year player too, I believe, from San Diego State, played in the Final Four. And the other big kid's only a freshman. I don't know how old he is because he's a European kid, but very skilled at 7'2" and 3 and 260 there too. So there's a lot of bodies in there.
Tom, you get a day to adjust Wednesday, but talk about the logistics of a big trip like this, 4-hour travel, time change, especially for your freshmen having this kind of experience and playing a big team like that.
It'll be a little unique, but everybody's, you know, some people in Hawaii, there's a 6-hour time change or 5, whatever it is. They just got to get used to it. And one way to get used to it is to try to play as hard as you can, as long as you can every day, and stay focused on the task. And that's kind of what we're trying to get out of a couple of our freshmen. Some of them got to play harder. Earlier, we shot the ball very well, and then everybody's one way, and then when you don't shoot it well, everybody gets another way. Some of that's human, some of it's normal, some of it makes me upset.
I'm interested, the two, particularly the two younger bigs, respond to some grown man strength in their game.
One of them was okay, and one of them wasn't very good. And you know, it shouldn't, no insult to you guys, but it shouldn't take a lot to see what I'm talking about in those media guys, media days. You know, I mean, you know, you can be weak, but you got to be aggressive, and you know, we're still, some of that's a work in progress, and it's going to be a work in progress, and that's what makes it so hard, maybe the way the schedule is right now. And we need to get some games where we can get some guys some reps. That's probably not happening. So in the meantime, it'll probably shrink our playing group a little bit.
Tyson and Malik out there today look like how quiet in good shape.
Yeah. You know, I was surprised Tyson made it. He took a few breaks, but most of the practice, he said he woke up this morning, felt 99% better, so that was encouraging. And Malik didn't seem to have any problem with his ankle. I don't ask questions. Those trainers, they're like media guys. They get on my nerves.
Granted, you didn't beat the '87 Lakers last night, but do you think some guys got some confidence with better shooting?
Well, Trey, and then he shot the lights out today too. I mean, there's no question that he did, and you know, I mean, I do think we did some good things. I mean, Jaden came back and made a few shots, but listen, you know, if it's putting, 3 people have to do a better job. AJ has to play like the player he is. Jaden has to play like the shooter and player he is, and Izzo better start coaching like the coach he is. So I'll take blame. They got to take blame. Those 3 people have to do more if we're going to do more this weekend. And it's going to be a great test for us. I do think it's the best team we've played, and it'll be fun to see how we respond.
Do West Coast teams have a different DNA? I mean, basketball players are basketball players, but is it different?
I think some do. I think it depends on the coach a little bit. Like UCLA has, you know, is usually more laid back, but they got a coach, and that gets after it morning, noon, and night, and then some. What's unique about Arizona is they got a couple Midwest kids, they got a couple European kids, means they got a lot of older kids, and I think they're pretty tough and physical. I know their guards are very much that way, and so it'll be a good challenge for us. You know, I think as we go, the biggest issue will be staying out of foul trouble inside, and that'll be one of our concerns.
Are you hoping Jaden seeing a couple going last night will kind of get him going?
I am. But you know, it's more than just making shots, though. It's making plays, and at the same time, you know, I really believe that Jaden. Some guys really, their offense dictates the rest of their game, and he's one of those guys, and that's not uncommon. There's a lot of people like that, but he too was one of our more solid players last year. He's a 40% three-point shooter career-wise. He should be a great defender. He has made himself a very good rebounder. So it's just a matter of getting your confidence back and not letting a few missed shots dictate the rest of your game. And I'm sure he's learning, and he'll do a better job of that.
In what ways have you seen Trey just develop over the last year and a half?
Yeah, it's been a year. I mean, I told you all summer that I thought he was one of our more improved players. His shooting has really improved from his freshman year. I think his desire to spend time on the game has really improved since his freshman year. All those things are bigger factors and development, and I think that's what our freshmen now have to understand. And the time you have to spend, I thought Booker said something to me the other day, you know, I just didn't realize, you know, these guys are pampered, they're entitled by everybody now. The NCAA entitles them. So why would they, you know, really understand that? And I think that's why you're seeing so few freshmen playing right now. The difference is we need to play some freshmen, and I think, you know, some guys are starting to figure it out, and I think that's going to help us.
Do you see Trey as being like, you know, I'm not saying he's going to shoot the way he shot the other night every game, but, you know, could he provide, you know, an offensive boost the second unit?
For sure. For sure. You know, I think he could do that. There's times, you know, he could play the point, he could do different things, and if guys, you know, aren't shooting well, we got a guy that can come in and shoot, and who knows, maybe we'll change some things around again. You know, I start a different lineup at halftime, not because of shooting, though, it's because all the other things that take place, falling asleep on back doors, things like that. So Trey is he's solid in the playing group, and who knows, that could move forward.
Justin seems like a guy that, coming off being sick, I would imagine his stamina will be fine because of who he is.
I think it will because of who he is, and today, I mean, I didn't think it was bad today considering not even a day off, but you never know. You know, the second day usually matters. Thank God we got a third day yet, so we got a little time, and hopefully Ty he'll respond. I mean, right now he's been our most consistent worker, condition guy, defensive player, offensive player, and coach. So he's been the most consistent in all areas.
You said Arizona's the best team you faced. You like these challenges on the road, far from home, especially for what's coming down the road, right?
I do. You know, I'm just trying to figure out. There's so many new intangibles with scheduling. Those Big Ten games I told you about the other night, freshmen not playing. There's just different things that when this year's over, that I'm going to really sit down with KP and figure out, you know, what we need to do to make sure we're giving ourselves the best chance to be successful. But I love games like this. I think it's a great opportunity. It's, you know, some teams can go 5 years without playing top 5 teams, and we seem to do it on a more regular basis. But a lot of teams don't play 2 or 3 in the whole, or don't play 2 or 3 years worth of top 5 teams once. So, as I tell my guys, it's a privilege and an honor, but there's a responsibility that goes with that, and that's what we got to get a little better at right now.
Tom, you've had some of these sort of measuristic, I guess, type of games already with Tennessee and Duke and Ford one and this one. Is there anything different you're hoping to learn or looking at in this one with it being for this type of game like that?
Yeah, I think I'm looking to win one. Looking to win one, but I'm looking to see us play better in all areas, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you guys would believe me, but as I watch film all night long of some of those games, I mean, I think if we could have made 2 shots here and there, we would just be a lot better team. Well, everybody can say that, but never have we shot like we shot in those couple of games. And so you put that together with playing good teams, I should feel better where I'm at. I just don't like some of the things that some of our veterans are doing right now, as far as taking plays off and maybe not showing anybody immediately what's going on, but winning plays, you know, winning plays are usually not a jump shot or a great pass. Winning plays is being in the right position at the right time, cutting out, getting the right rebound, all those things. And I think that's where we got a couple guys taking a few plays off, and so that was addressed today in a film session, and it'll be addressed tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. But it's going to get harder before it gets easier.
What did rebounding look like when you watched the film?
It didn't look like we did much of it, you know, and some of that was, you know, cutting out those smaller guards. Some of that is exactly what I'm just saying now, that I'm trying my hardest not to call people out. So I'll just say guys did not cut out our guards especially, and guys went in there and got rebounds. So we haven't rebounded as well. We're not as big a team, we understand that. But we're gonna get a lot tougher and a lot more physical, and that's what today's practice and tomorrow's is going to be the same, and the next day in California is going to be the same. And quit worrying about injuries, quit worrying about all the other things, and just play.
Free throws, you kind of take the same mindset.
Free throws, you know,
shooting,
I mean,
I it's something that's been good.
It's been great, and you know, it's great in practice. It's great the night before games and the shooting things we do. You know, I still can't dwell on it. You know, the other night was, you know, we made some free throws. We were shooting 70-some%, and then all of a sudden you start missing a few, and it is what it is. But again, when a couple of you guys that were shooting 80 last year are shooting 50 and 60 now, you know, they've already done it. They just got to get back to doing it.
You get to decide on your best response to a Coen Carr dunk?
Yeah, I didn't know how to act, you know. I wanted to do the, oh my God, and I said, oh, I gotta be cool, I might be on TV, and then somebody will rip me for that. So I just kind of went, oh my God, that way, you know. I don't know how he got that in, from where he was, where the guy was. That was an incredible play. I mean, one of the all-time great dunks that I've seen here. And still only counted 2 points. So.
Did you see how your bench reacted? Did you happen to see the TV copy?
No.
Defense was pretty good on that play, wasn't it?
I thought the defense was real good. That was what was impressive about that. And that's the other thing, you know. Right now, I think we're holding teams to 33%, and everybody will say, well, you didn't play. You played a couple. Look what most teams have played. Some teams have played 4 of those kind of teams. And so I think defensively, we're better than I thought we were. We're not rebounding as well. So then your defense doesn't get the credit it should really get, because to finish a defensive possession, you got to get a rebound. So that's one negative. And then, of course, the shooting has been, you know, is it gradually coming up? It is, you know, glaciers are coming down too. You know, it just takes years, and we gotta up it a little bit faster than we're doing it.
How much of rebound is effort? How much is technique, or is it a mix?
I think there's more effort involved in rebounding. That's why little guys can get rebounds, or that's why some of the best rebounders in the NBA have been guys that are 6'6", 6'7", strong, can't jump. You know, Draymond's a great example of I mean, he can jump, but I mean, toughness and just the nose for the ball, you know, which is effort. You have a nose for the ball, you're gonna go get the ball. And it's amazing. Some guys have a enjoyment of contact, and some guys hate contact.
So how many aspirin is Sloan going to have to take for that flight tomorrow?
Yeah, he's going to get beat up a little bit tomorrow, and then try to beat him up on Wednesday too. But the only problem is that guy's a foot taller and 60 pounds heavier, so we got a lot of work to do on that.
This has nothing to do with basketball, this question.
Awesome.
It's more about football and coaching. Harlan today talked about how he obviously wants to be in the running for the coaching position. Something he said that he thinks gives him a leg up on competition is the fact that he is loyal, committed, he knows this university very well. How do you think a coach having that kind of like experience, that kind of passion for the place that he's at, is reflecting in his coaching style and helping it impact it, I guess?
Well, first of all, I've talked quite a bit of what I think of Harlan as a person. He's unbelievable. But you learn a lot about a guy in adversity and what he's done with this team. I mean, God, I was at a game or two that I know they had won, and if they win them, they'd be bowl eligible right now. And I know everybody's going to say if and was, but if anybody has any idea what he's been through with these ridiculous rules now on when you can leave, and in football it's even worse. Play 4 games, then sit out some games, and decide not to play, and transfer whenever you want. He's kept that thing, injuries up the yin-yang, he's kept that thing pretty damn good, which speaks volumes. George Perlis once told me when I first got here, there's something about hiring people, and he meant as an assistant and this and that, and even me as a GA, who has a passion for the place, who's walked the sidewalks and sat in the classrooms. And that sounds so crazy, but it means a lot to me. And I think it should mean a lot to a lot more people than it does. Because you do have a learning curve. I mean, there's a lot of great coaches. But great coaches, to me, are people that can motivate other people and that understand the surroundings they're in. And in that case, I appreciate greatly. I talk to Harlan twice every week, and I appreciate greatly what he's done. And I understand the circumstances he's working under. I'm not sure most people do. But to keep a group of players this day and age together like he has, that's worth a lot of consideration on a lot of things. I mean, the guy he's special. I really mean that. And I'm a huge Harlan Barnett fan. And what Ellen and the people decide to do, I mean, I can appreciate he wants to be under consideration. I mean, I know how I felt. And he's played here, he's coached different places, he's got a lot more experience than I had. It semi-worked out for me, so let's see what happens.
Could you imagine him jumping in 2 games into a season? Like
No.
First year,
No.
No.
And it's not jumping in, if a coach, got fired or something, it's jumping in with these rules the way they are, with the things that are going on. I mean, he met with 75 guys his first week. And you're still trying to coach the team, you're still trying to get better. And I know he's met with parents and people, and I mean, I wish everybody knew how difficult that part was. Don't feel sorry for me, I get paid a lot of money to do it. But appreciate that somebody like him that was thrown into that, keeping the staff together, keeping the players together, keeping your sanity yourself, keeping alums happy in media. I mean, that'll go down for me as one of the better jobs that a guy did, just to keep the train on the tracks. And so...
You think that's appreciated?
No, nothing is ever appreciated but wins or losses, unfortunately. I mean, it's I understand it. I mean, I've had teams that should be really good and weren't, and I deserve the criticism. I've had teams that should have been really good and a lot of injuries come. nobody cares, nobody appreciates it. But they've had a slew of injuries. I mean, I do know exactly what goes on over there because I talk to them so often. I talk to Coach D every couple of days. And sometimes, man, I mean, I know who they're putting in. I know who the backups are. I know they move guys from quarterback to receiver, from receiver back to backup quarterback. I mean, it's mind-boggling, and keeps plugging away. And you know what? I just hope we play well so I can go down to Detroit, watch them, because I got a feeling they're going to play their butt off down there. It's going to be. I've been in that city. You know, there'll be a lot of alums that don't get a chance to see us up here that'll be at that game. That's going to be awesome. I think it'll be electric atmosphere, and wouldn't that be a sweet way to kind of finish off the season?
Do you want to share any of the intel with us?
Any of the what?
Intel that you've gotten with what they're going to do and stuff? The changes that they've made?
On football? I don't know what you mean by intel. I'm just saying that they've had to move all these people around because of injuries. You know, there's no intel. We don't have any centers playing quarterback. But I didn't mean it as that. If I said it wrong, I just meant that that's what he's had to go through all year. And I mean, D-backs or receivers. I mean, it's just amazing what he's had to do, and the way he's done it with such class and dignity. I'll always be a Harlan Barnett fan. Always.
Anything else?